got guests coming up here. We've got Instrumental Album of the Year winners, Quartango. Come on in. Hi. How are you? Come on in. Of course. I'm Lauren. Nice to meet you. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Come sit in between Carlin and I. I said that right. Quartango.
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to make sure I get it. Oh, we need to give you your microphone. Where are all the microphones here? Grab that.
Okay.
You've all got mics.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
These are
Settle in. This couch, just so you know, is called Rachel. So you're sitting on Rachel right now.
Sorry, Rachel. Right.
All right. So Quartango, congratulations, Instrumental Album of the Year.
Thanks a lot.
You look very excited. How do you
very
feel?
excited.
We
We're
are.
a bit in shock
We're in a
because
shock,
because
actually.
there's
Really?
such. I mean, we love what we do, but we also love all the work of all the other nominees in the category. So we were like, wow. But you know, what's amazing is that Quartango has been around for 30 years, and this guy, René Gosselin, was there right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And we've been nominated before for Juno, but this is the first Juno that Quartango has gotten, and we're like,
Yes, man.
wow.
When was the last time you guys were nominated?
Here in Hamilton, but the year I think
It was
is
one of the
2000,
Hamilton
2002 or 3. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah.
So what do you think? What do you think it was this time that got you the win this year?
I think it's true.
I think this album really has a lot of energy, and it also has a lot of diversity, a lot of variety on it. Like this band's gone through a lot of different personnel changes, but right now, 3 of the 4 of us are all composers, and we have compositions of all of ours on it, and we also have arrangements of really like a real variety of music. I would say, for example, we do an arrangement of a Frank Zappa tune on this album.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we do also an arrangement of an Igor Stravinsky tune. So that gives you an idea of
The range,
the
yeah.
kind of the range we got there.
Gene Dinovi too, huh?
And yeah, Gene Dinovi is a really amazing jazz man jazz guy from Toronto, and we got an arrangement of his tune on it too. So I think it's something to do with the variety and just the energy on the album,
Yeah.
I think. But you know, one of the things that also was made us so surprised and so really grateful too to Karis and to the Juno Awards in general is that Encuentro, the album that just won, was self-produced.
Amazing.
And it's an independent of any label, and we produced it from A to Z, and we were from the ground up. It's totally a grassroots endeavor, and I think it's amazing that the Junos can honor the work of independent artists like us.
And is that a change for this group in
Yes.
terms of self-producing and everything, right?
Yeah.
That's the first self-producing
Yes.
CDs we have.
Okay.
But I have to give a lot of credit to the Jim West and also Just in Time Record who produced all the other recordings before, because they were there for us. They were there to help us during the time was not easy also, you know. And this CD today win that award. It's just the community.
It's kind of just the culmination of work that
Yes.
began
Yeah.
at Just in Time Records and led up to this. So that's why we were grateful
Yeah.
to
So
all those
exactly.
folks too. Yeah.
To give us context, how many records have you guys released in the past?
It's right.
This is the 8th record.
8th record, and this
Yeah.
is the first one that you
Yeah.
decided to self-produce.
That's right. When Quartango started 30 years ago, there was no tango in Canada. So tango, it comes from Argentina, Uruguay, it's South American, and there was nothing going on.
The first
in,
album was vinyl.
the first album was vinyl. It came out on vinyl in the 80s.
Well, and vinyl's making a comeback. Do you have a vinyl of the new one? The latest?
No,
Yeah.
maybe we'll press it
Yeah,
now.
you
Now
should.
that we have a Juno.
You should.
And so there was no tango in Canada, and so they really started it. It started with immigrants from Argentina and Uruguay who came, and they introduced it here. And now, I mean, we're all from Montreal, right? In Montreal, there's at least 8 tango dance schools in Montreal, and any night of the week you can dance tango at various places around Montreal. And the same is true with lots of Canadian cities, in Vancouver, in Toronto too. So.
You were talking about the wide range of genres on this album. Was that a conscious decision that you went into the making of it with, or is it just something that happened?
You know, I don't think we came in with a conscious decision. I think it more is just a reflection of our really different personalities, the 4 of us. That's why we called it Encuentro. Encuentro in Spanish means encounter. And an encounter for us was, well, first of all, it was the kind of coming together that is part of music making. You can't make music unless you're playing with friends. There's no other kind of music to make. That's how we think of it anyway. And so it's coming together. Then it's coming together with different styles. But that's a result, I think, of just our different personalities. We're all from really different backgrounds. I'm more I play the bandoneon, which is the typical. It's like an accordion a little bit, more boxy, has longer bells. You've probably seen it. It's the typical tango instrument. And so I'm more like a really Argentinian tango guy, and that's where my background is from. Stefan over here, he is classically trained pianist, an incredible pianist, but he's done a lot of work with singers, pop singers. He's worked with people like, who are the kind of singers you work with?
In Quebec, well, I've worked with Charles Aznavour, if you know, with Michel Rivard, with lots of people there, classical singers and lots of singers.
So he's got that background behind him. Then Antoine Barret, our violinist, who unfortunately is not able to come today, and we really want to thank him for his work, even if he couldn't come tonight because he's making music tonight. He makes music every night of the week.
You'll still all get the Juno in the mail,
exactly.
Right?
And Antoine, his background is he's a classical violinist for sure, but in terms of his musical taste, he's actually into progressive rock and minimalist music too, like Steve Reich, Philip Glass, and that kind of thing. And so he brings that to the table. And so I think it really was not a conscious decision. It's just we're all really different.
Yeah, and you mentioned an instrument that I've never heard before, so you piqued my interest. How many instruments were on this record?
It's
you even know?
just
Five.
four. No.
Five, actually, with Chantal.
Yeah. So there's five instruments. So Quartango is a quartet made up of bandoneon, my instrument, violin, piano, and double bass. And then we had a feature on the album with on a few tracks. We had percussion with the percussion played by our dear friend Chantal Simard.
Yeah. So my question is, who actually knows how to dance the tango in this group?
You do.
Antoine. No, that's not true. It's not there.
It's funny, in the tango world, it's really weird, but in the tango world, usually you have musicians on the one hand and you have dancers on the other hand. It's pretty rare to find musicians who are good dancers. Like, for example, Astor Piazzolla, most incredible tango composer of all time. He didn't dance tango. He played he played the music. And
can't tango to save his life.
we kind of dance on stage with our instruments.
Yeah, you have to
sort
have
of.
some.
Yeah, exactly.
What I've done
like the hip. I want to learn.
We often have dancers in our shows, though. We work a lot, for example, with Fabiana and Roxana Belmonte, wonderful dancers from Argentina, but they're based in Toronto. And we often get them in our shows, and they do dance numbers in our shows too. So there's always a dance element. We also often have a vocal element in our concerts. We work a lot with an opera singer. She's really well known in Quebec. Her name is Marie-Josée Laure, and we do a tango opera concert also that mixes opera singing and tango.
Oh, that's cool.
Next concert we do an Halifax symphony. Because we do a lot of concert with symphonic orchestra. We play with Montreal Symphony Orchestra. We play with Ottawa's Art National Orchestra, and also next month we will play with the Halifax Symphony Orchestra.
Well, you're all very talented. It's taken 30 years to win the Juno. It's so well deserved. You should have got one sooner, but you can celebrate for the last 30 years tonight, which is amazing for you. So thank you.